my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your romantic soulmate contract read, your timeless romantic soulmate contract read. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Jarring the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. Link in the description box. Creator on Patreon. Patreon.com/Jarring the Circle. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey. Mars conjunct Leo rising. Yay! Shall we? If you're new to the channel, it's a soul contract read. We're going to look at it like a contract. There is an extended version of this available on Vimeo.com, or if you are one of my patrons on Patreon, you get all of the extended timeless reads, past, present, and moving into the future, as long as you are subscribed. Getting that out of the way. There are a bunch of links in the description box talking about soul contracts, twin flames, and soulmates, and all that kind of stuff. Highly recommend it. There's even, I believe, a preface for these readings. A preface to the romantic soulmate contract reads I did last year, just to kind of fill you in, because there are a lot of different meanings about soulmate and twin flame, and there's a new definition out there that I think is much healthier. It's a more evolved definition brought through by Matt Kahn, a spiritual teacher. His YouTube channel, Matt Kahn All for Love. His healing mantra deck is the last card down for this read before we jump over to the extended, so check it out. Otherwise, you know the rest, right? It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because you may have more than one romantic soulmate contract. But I will say this. The foundation of any soulmate contract, romantic or otherwise, my mom and I have a soulmate contract. We help each other heal. We do. It's symbiotic, it's satisfying, it's soothing. However, it's the romantic ones that have been the trickier. Like, you know, relationships with parents are tricky. They're hard, but, you know, you're genetically bonded, or not, but you get what I'm saying. The romantic ones are the ones that lifetime after lifetime, right? It's like, God, why can't we just get this right, finally? So a soothing, a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, I know, is what a lot of us have been waiting for a very long time. But it's all about the healing. That is the purpose of a soulmate contract, through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate gig. You got it? All right, so both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can. We're going to be looking at this like a contract. We're going to have party number 1 over here, party number 2 over here in the center lane. The state of the contract, the clause of the contract, the chapter in the book, the scene in the movie, so to speak, of the contract, so you get to feel out who you are, and we go much deeper in the extended reads. The extended reads have been going into close to an hour every time. So let's see what hits the table, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of soulmate, romantic soulmate contract law. Let's see if that one comes around again. For the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, their higher selves, the higher selves of all involved. I need 3 Caroline Mace archetype cards to indicate the 8th chakra dynamics hovering over the head of the Leo collective and whoever they're dealing with, as well as the state of the contract, so that we can build this contract reading. So party number 1 in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for the Leo collective. We've got the God archetype, all right, who we got party number 2. Please, in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. We've got the networker, okay, so a masculine family archetype, a creative family archetype. This third one I'm going to put in the center, but I'm not going to look at it until I get to the extended, because that's the state of the contract. But this way, these 3 are on the table. So yeah, collective pantheons of the divine for the Leo collective. This God and this networker in this Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, soulmate contract. What is the clause of the contract? The track on the album. The chapter of the story, the scene in the movie that they are in this timeless romantic read. All right. So, archetypes are neutral on this card. We have a shadow attribute, a light attribute, fear to love, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, what you're helping each other heal. The shadow is what you don't want to look at within your own self, or if you know about it, you don't want anybody else to know about it. Probably you don't want each other to know each other's stuff unless you do. So what you're shooting for is the light here. So as you heal you, you're automatically helping them heal theirs. So in 9 different families, we got a masculine family archetype and a creative family archetype. The shadow of the god, despotism and cruelty, using power to control people, and that's in all sorts of different ways, right? You think of, and by the way, the god, just as a masculine family archetype, doesn't mean it can't be in a feminine female form. It's a little alliteration for you there out of nowhere. But despotism and cruelty, right? That's a very, very destructive thing in a family unit, in a corporation, in a relationship in particular. So the light attribute, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. I mean, this is sort of like the divine masculine card, just as the goddess in the feminine family archetype, that the goddess card would be the divine feminine. This is definitely a divine masculine dealio vibio here. Let's look at the networker, the shadow attribute. Conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood, fake news, etc., lies, illusions, deceptions, delusions, gossip, all of that stuff. I mean, with social media, we're sort of numb to it now. The light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So it's a bit more of a heart vibe there. It's using the creativity of unity rather than the destructive aspect of separation, division. All right. What we're going to do now, I'm going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to get the next 4 chakras down, heart, third eye crown for the god. And then we're going to take the Mythic Tarot on this side and get the lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus for the networker. So we are looking at a yin-yang dynamic here, but in the extended reading, I just switch the decks. So we get the 5 round cards on this side and the 4 rectangle cards on this side. So you get full chakra on all of it. But let's focus on the god here. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of fire, the sign of Leo, powers of the south, please, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, element spread for the god archetype in this Leo collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, soulmate contract in process, whether they've met yet or not. What's this god's element of fire, what they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire. And this contract is their opposite sign of Aquarius. That's interesting. Well, for Leo, if this is the Leo on this side, both could be, either could be, you got to figure that out. When it's a court card, heart, third eye crown, it may be reflected in somebody on the outside, but it's really an internal thing. 11th house, humanitarianism, actually, definitely benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. This is about seeing things from a larger perspective. Ixchel. This is the Crone of Blades. That would be the Queen of Swords in Rider-Waite traditional tarot. She flies on an eagle. This is her as Eagle Woman. She also has a jaguar aspect. This is South American goddess. I don't remember exactly the tradition, but you know, I suck at names. But she's flying with scissors. Bad enough to run with scissors. She's a goddess. She's allowed to fly with scissors. Right above it all, seeing what needs to be released and let go, but from a higher perspective. It is fixed air, the stratosphere. This is pulling back. So what they want could very much be a more friendly approach here, one that is more benevolent, one that's more unity based in this relationship, right? I mean, well, Aquarians are the friends of the zodiac. They won't be everybody's friend, but they could be a little distant. We'll see. Gods can be a little distant. Yeah. All right, my goddesses, what's going on there? Element of earth, what do they have? The fuel to feed the fire, to manifest their heart's desire. And we've got another court card and another air sign, Libra. So I think we're looking at, in terms of a heart third eye crown here, someone who is very much a thinker. Not so much in their head, but if there is that humanitarian thing, that friendship, that expansion, right? To have, that's what they want, that good feeling, like the song "The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius," which is mostly about Piscean energy, but that's another story. Then here we've got what they have is Libra, Skadi, the mother of blades. That would be the King of Swords. The Libra card, we're looking at a deeper understanding and balance, at least third eye and throat, about marriage, about relationships, about justice, about doing it in a balanced, harmonious way. Seventh house dynamic, marriage, partnerships, legal issues, but also a relationship to oneself and one's shadow. So this could be a very, very fair person. I'm not getting that that tyrannic, right? A despot and a tyrant aren't exactly the same thing, but I think it's merely a couple of decimal points away. But using their power to control people, this does not feel that. This feels very much like, no, let your freak flag fly. You know, you do you. Let's love everybody. Digging it. All right. So we got two air cards on the table. Let's look at the position of air. My goddesses, please, what are they thinking? Their element of air, this god archetype in this Leo collective contract. What are they thinking about this? Five of Pentacles. What they're thinking about is maybe not so much about getting ghosted. This is the earthquake in this deck, so there's no, church with people limping by in the snow. No, this is about a very, very fast physical change. Now, when it's heart, throat, third eye, crown, that's an internal change. That could be a tectonic shift. That could very much be they're thinking about how much this contract, this relationship is going to shake up their world. They're going to go from the stability and rest of the fourth through the of the Five of Pentacles into that balance of the six. So they're thinking about it. I guess that's why they want to kind of fly above it. It's like, where's the friendliest way we can do this, right? The most benevolent and compassionate way. Good. Taking it. Remember, this does not have to be a male. This does not have to be a biological. Well, on my channel, gender is gender. You do you. Just tell me what you want me to call you, and I'll do my best. You can call me Your Grace. Yes, Your Grace. So my goddesses, what's the element of water here? How's this god archetype feeling about this Leo collective soulmate romantic contract and process with this networker? Leave the card in my hand. What's the element of water? What are they feeling? Happy, peppy, and bursting with love, the Sun card. Their hearts are lit. This definitely feels like an enlightened being. Look, everybody's on the scale of enlightenment somewhere, right? To a greater or lesser degree, the percentage of lead to gold, right? Who's walking around full gold 24/7, 365, except like the Dalai Lama. You got it. He's the Dalai Lama. You gotta cut in some slack on that one. Even though Buddhism doesn't talk about God, but you get what I'm saying. Because benevolent and enlightened and compassionate, I mean, he's a really good example of it. But this is somebody who is embodying that. And when I would think that when well, maybe that's why, what they're thinking about is how this is going to rock their world. I mean, earthquakes don't last very long, but a high Richter scale earthquake for even 10 seconds can be lethal. So they are thinking about that, but when they think about you, their heart goes, when it's major arcana, heart, third eye, crown, it's all 4 chakras lit up. I like it. All right, what about this spirit card, my goddesses of fire sign of Leo, powers of the South? What is the point of view of the soul who incarnated to play the role of the god archetype in this contract? You got 2 Leo cards. My darlings, you got the Sun card and you got the Strength card. These are traditionally seen as typical of the sign of Leo. This is about the soul saying you got to follow your heart. You got to have courage. You have to have the grace of fortitude. You have to have the strength to do this. Yes, I believe there are fears mentally going on here. Fire and air have a very interesting relationship. Air can live without fire. Fire can't live without air. So we've got a lot of air down here. I feel like this person might even be in some kind of mental self-healing, counseling, something, or has been, because what they have is this sense of fairness and balance. This is somebody who's probably been through hell to the underworld and back in a bunch of toxic twin flame contracts, so is perhaps become the mate of their own soul, hence attracting a healthier soulmate, reason, season, or lifetime. Okay, we've got our elements spread on this side. Let's do the same on this side. The Mythic Tarot, lower 3 chakras. Inside looking out at you, outside looking in, right? Lower 3 chakras are about the different levels of relationship. Groups in the first chakra, one-on-one relationships in the second chakra, relationship to yourself in the third. Work. Breathe. Still point. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Leo, powers of the South, 5-card element spread for this networker in this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract with this God archetype in process. What is this networker's element of fire? What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their heart's desire in this contract is 3 of Wands. They want external loyalty. They want the loyalty. They want that thing of this is worth waiting for. Where it's a stability of 3. It's a desire. The choice of the 2 has been made, and now the journey begins. So there is a level of commitment, a level of loyalty, at least to themselves to start with, but it's got to be for both of them. So this is somebody who feels like, we'll see how it goes, but, how you negotiate the terms of a relationship early on are always tricky, right? An open relationship, are we exclusive, are we this, are we that? So what's their element of earth, the fuel to feed the fire and manifest that heart's desire? 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. I feel like this might be a little bit more cerebral, spiritual on this side, like very, very upper chakra, where this might very well be a solar plexus, heart, kind of second chakra, yummy, kind of VIMEO. I mean, we've got Eros and Psyche here, how they met, pricked his finger on one of his golden arrows of love. It's the original Greek version of Cupid. Eros, the god of erotic romantic love. And a whole journey ensues. They end up well in the 10 of Cups. Go read the myth. It is definitely a true love story. So there's no question that the attraction is here on this side. Is this true love forever and evermore? No, but I bet this person's really communicative. Where this one might be really kind of balancing things out mentally, spiritually for themselves in the process. All right, so my gods, the networker, what's their element of air? What are they thinking about in this contract? The Lover's card, major life-changing decision. I think both of them know that, if these 2 people are already together, then this is about the next juncture, right? The next adventure together, although we're not seeing aces necessarily. there is definitely a lot of creativity here. A big life-changing decision, like change of home, maybe a marriage, right? Or if you've just met, there really is this sense mentally that this is life-changing. Earthquake over here is they're thinking about how this is going to change their physical world. But over here, from the outside looking in, the networker might be the one actually that makes the decision. This is the judgment of Paris. It's what began the Trojan War. Oh, what a golden apple at a wedding can do. The chaos from the goddess Discord. Little wedding gift. Should have just left a check. How true love is a life-changing decision. How even saying, yeah, sure, all right, let's go out, let's see what happens. That can be it feels like a choice, but can be a life-changing decision. So there definitely needs to be this communication here on this side. And I think because we've got a lot of mental receptivity and fairness over here, it will be well taken, a good conversation, bit by bit. Element of water, please. What is this networker feeling about this contract? 4 wands. They want to be shacking up. Yeah, packing up, shacking up's all they want to do. I mean, you got 3 of wands and what they want, and they're feeling the 4 wands. If you're to look at them from the outside looking in, they're ready to set up home. This could be like moving in together. This could be, I mean, is it a marriage card? I'm not seeing the Empress here, but then again, we do have the extended reading where the decks will flip from side to side. But there's a lot of warmth here. I mean, come on, 2 of Cups, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, the Lovers. I'm just wondering how this networker is dealing with it, right? For all of you out there. Particularly if this is the Leo, the wanting to just share it and scream it at the top of your lungs as Leos are, want to do. All right, so my gods of fire, sign of Leo, powers of the south. What is the spirit card? The point of view, the voice of the soul who incarnated to play the role with the networker archetype in this Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract in progress with this god archetype. Yeah, 8 of Swords. So there's a bit of a mental hang up on this side too, says the soul. It's like there's a little rock in a hard place here, blindfolded and bound by belief. Old belief systems. There might certainly be fears, particularly between fulfilling an obligation and following one's truth. Don Miguel Ruiz, author of The 4 Agreements, also wrote a book called Mastery of Love. It's a really good application of the 4 Agreements in all sorts of relationships, but particularly romantic. And early on in the book, he says, love has no obligations. Obligation is a chain, right? I have an obligation to my family. It's like, well, that's not really a freedom, isn't it? Is it? When you do something out of that heart-centered place, right? Out of that place, it's freeing, not confining. So I try and re-look at my obligations here. So it's going to be interesting to see what this looks like in the extended, but we still have 3 more cards down to finish here. And the next 2 are going to be the voices of the higher selves. Now, I say higher selves of all involved, but we're really looking at the higher selves connected to this God archetype and to this networker. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Okay. All right. I get it. I feel it. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what are the whispers of love from the Whispers of Love Oracle in this Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract in progress for this God archetype. Spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Like I said, the romantic ones, it's like, all right, let's try and do this again. Let's do it in New York. Last time we tried it in, the San Andreas Fault, we just fell off the cliff. It did not go well, right? Milkmaid and sheep herd, swine herd, that didn't go well. Please, higher selves for this networker, what is their whisper of love? back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to evaluate what you want. And I feel like that's very much here in the Eight of Swords. Look, I totally feel the more, I'd say spiritually minded, but also spiritually oriented vibe on this side. Makes sense with the God archetype. But remember, it's not a divine family archetype. It's a masculine family archetype. So there is about that externalizing of it as more yang than yin. So, you know, it feels like they've got a pretty good internal world here. Particularly with the major arcana, this feels like the Leo, at least on the inside. Where this one, they've got I feel like this is the one that's going to pull the trigger, right, so to speak. That's going to say, it feels like it's their decision about what they want to do here, because they want the loyalty and they feel it. And they really, really feel it. They really, really feel it, that thing of cohabitating, of engagement, right? Really taking it to the next level, something a little bit more solidified, commitment wise. But right now they're being given an opportunity to reevaluate this, just to do the whole thing, because that Eight of Swords in the spirit position, in the soul, it's saying, like, don't take your time with this. There's no need to rush. It feels like there's a need to rush, but there isn't. Particularly with all that fire. Fire. So, last card down, as I mentioned. You can't see this title anyway. It's white ink on a pastel bookie book. The Matt Khan Healing Mantra Deck. We're going to get you one of these, our last card down. Doesn't matter which side you are, work the mantra. You're healing you, you're helping heal them. Even if by chance you have not met this person yet, and you know which side of this you are more predominant on, then this feels like you're both ready for each other. But there's still some evaluation that needs to go on. This one feels like, yeah, whenever it's supposed to happen. This one's like, I don't know yet. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contract Law, please, the perfect healing mantra for this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract involving this God archetype and this networker archetype. It feels really good. There is a spiritual connection here, but they're being given an opportunity to really get clear about what it is they want, what they really value, what's most important. And it may be a decision between something like work and family. There might be a move here involved, moving away from comfort of the known into the unknown, moving in together. I'm feeling there's definitely a life-changing decision, and it feels like the networker is going to be the one to kind of make that decision. But can they communicate? Can they make this a unity thing? And for this God archetype, it feels like they're pretty in the groove. It's just they have to look at how their thoughts are shaking them up. So the perfect healing mantra, leave it in my hand, for the Leo collective in this timeless, romantic, soulmate read. Growing beyond guilt, it couldn't have happened any other way. Work. There are definitely past influences here. This, of course, is what you go through when you either meet someone new, right? And it triggers all the unfinished business from past boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, whoever, whatever. But if it's a come around, if it's, you know, those great come around readings where here they come again, something's retrograde, ex-lover flash flood alert, then, you know, there's nothing... it could have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt. Matt Kahn's third book, I'm not kidding you, the universe always has a plan. 10 golden rules of letting go. The very first one is you've done nothing wrong. From the soul's perspective, you've done nothing wrong. And as a matter of fact, the mantra for that is, in order for you to be who you were born to become, life couldn't have happened any other way. It's scripted. It's contracted. Cool. All right, so let me read you this one. I have worked this mantra, I won't say ad nauseum, but I will say a whole lot. A whole lot. Growing beyond guilt. Couldn't have happened any other way. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in a perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe. In other words, not organized by you or any of us. It's part of a larger plan and play. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be. Since everything is destined to change and can only change you for the better, that is the process of evolution, we don't always grow through joy and pleasure. Unfortunately, Leos, I know, I'm not thrilled about it either. Growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds, usually in retrospect, but I think that's what this is. You know what? Like for this God archetype, they're saying, let's look at this from a higher place. I want to take this to a higher place, a more spiritual. Let's see this from the satellite point of view, so we can see that this couldn't have happened any other way. This is our fate, but can we alchemize it into destiny, which is what the path of true love and the hero's journey is all about anyway. This mantra is ideal for releasing the past, unhooking from karmic patterns, so you don't have to keep fucking repeating them, and forgiving yourself. Couldn't have happened any other way. Really, get the book. I don't get any kickbacks from that. I don't work for MatCon or Hay House or any of that, but it's pretty amazing, genius stuff. We talk about it a lot over on Patreon. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put this together in a summation with a blessing-mation, some blessing, whatever. And then we'll chat a little bit at the end, because I like to keep the very, very goofiest for the end, because I know people don't always watch it all the way through. It's my last little period at the end of the sentence. Shall we? Torch of Ariel. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Leo, collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, whenever they may be watching this in this timeless read. That party number one, the God may embrace their benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within themselves and others from a higher perspective, from a friendly, more humanitarian, interacting with the world, from a much more higher chakra, third eye crown place, because they have the balance inside of them, most likely the mental emotional balance, still getting the vibe that this person is either self-healing or is doing therapy or is a therapist or a counselor or something, a healer of the mental emotional, and has definitely been their own client, because their minds are shook and they are thinking about this relationship and this contract as something that's happening very, very fast and changing things really, really quickly. But their heart is lit, that is filled with light, filled with truth, happiness, healthy. There is something very healthy on this side of the table, and the voice of the soul is saying, courage, mon amour, courage, keep walking, you can do this, you gotta face your fears. Yes, mentally, there's some stuff going on here, and yes, fire does burn things quickly, but the shookethness is on both sides of the table, so that they can really get through this by acknowledging a spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime, and may this networker enhance unity through the sharing of information, engendering social awareness and empathy, not just with the world, but with each other, there for this loyalty that they want, to say that, no, I want something that's worth waiting for. I want something that I can trust, that we can slow and steady wins the race, because they've got it. They've got that love, that attraction. Eros's arrow has struck, and it seems like the decision here is in their hands. Can they make the most loving, wise, empowered decision? Aphrodite, Athena, Hera, the judgment of Paris decision in this, and they are certainly thinking about it, but in their emotional field there is that Four of Wands energy there of The shacking up's all they want to do. They want to make this a bit more solid, a bit more stable. Sure, then comes the fives after that, the figuring it out, the mock battles of getting things set up. But with that Eight of Swords, they got to resolve that, says the soul. That there's a lot of stuck thinking here that might very well have to do with the past and growing beyond guilt, because the overall message is from their higher self is to get back to what they love. Their current situation is giving them an opportunity to reevaluate what they want and to see things with fresh eyes. And the best way to do that is to really start with a mantra along the lines of, well, whatever went down between us, this life, past life, whatever, other relationships, family relationships, it couldn't have happened any other way. In order to be who we were born to become, life couldn't have happened any other way. This is all a perfect dance and choreography, and we're not in control of it. We can only do the best that we can moment by moment. So may they be blessed with all that they need in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, whatever water has passed under the bridge for the collective fixed fire signs here, that they may heal, grow, anchor this soulmate contract into physical form, bringing more happy, healthy, wealthy, wise energy to this planet for our well-being and for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. That was a cherry on the top of that sundae. Did you like it? Like it, hit the thumbs up. This is a good read. You want more of me? I don't know, subscribe. That's what people do. Subscribe. You want to go deeper, you want to have fun, and you want to get the extended reads for one price per month. All tiers have access, highest to lowest. Then come Patreon on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. I am the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. Yeah, but you can call me Mal. And you get to see me every morning pretty much in my bathrobe with a cup of coffee, streaming, talking about the daily astrology, usually with my hair not looking as good as it does right now. And I'm the fun one. So thank you so much. Comment who's who in this. Which one do you relate to? I would love to know. Inquiring minds usually do. Otherwise, want to book me for a private reading, there's a link in the description box, booking a reading with Mal. I do these contract reads all the time for people, family members, but mostly the romantic sexual stuff. So booking a reading with Mal, YouTube video explains it all for you, just like Clarissa. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed in this God network or contract. Can't wait to see what clause you're in. Jump over to Vimeo or Patreon if you want to find out. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.